Hi guys, and welcome back to My Dank Dog. Just as a quick reminder, I live in Canada. It's been legal here since 2018. These Lucky 13 beans I've had since December 2024, so a few months now. I think it's about time we got them on the grow, so let's get into it. Vivosun.com has got a ton of 420-day shenanigans going on, a ton of bargains over there, guys, and you can also use my 20% discount code to save on a VGrow. The code is MDDVGrow, and you can also use my 15% discount code site-wide. The code is MyDankDog, and there's no minimum purchase. And just as a reminder, guys, you can also use my codes at Amazon US, Amazon Canada, Amazon Germany, and Amazon UK. Who wants a MyDankDog sweatshirt? I've got a few I can give away to celebrate 420. All XL. I think I've got 2 or 3 black left and maybe 1 or 2 grey left, but let me know in the comments section below and I'll choose a couple of winners on 420 and get them posted out as soon as possible. Back in December 2024, the Vivosun crew invited me out to Las Vegas to meet them at MJBizCon. There was a lot to take in. It was pretty overwhelming. It was my first experience of one of these events, but really looking forward to my next one coming up soon. When I found these guys, I was really happy. These guys are fantastic cup winners, bling bling across the board. So I was really happy to find this booth and just take in everything they've got to offer. There was some of the staff and crew on hand, so I managed to speak to this guy, Jacob, and he gave me a rundown of some of the up-and-coming strains that they've got going, as well as some new drops and a little bit of a history on the company. I also walked away with this goodie bag, and I've been sitting on this for the past few months, waiting for an opportunity to get it going. Now that I've got a second VGrow, I'm thinking maybe I'll grow 1 Lucky 13 in a VGrow and 1 Lucky 13 in a larger tent, either my 2x4 or my 32x32. I'm not sure yet. I haven't set up this second VGrow yet. I'm going to be doing that in the next couple of days or week, so I'll be updating and posting that shortly. I'm also going to try mainlining for the first time with one of these beans and then probably do some regular LST with the other bean. I cracked 2, as you can see here. This is 1, both in rockwool, and I took a tip from you guys and actually split the rockwool down the middle so that I could actually take a peek in at the beans to see whether they've cracked and formed their taproot. You may have seen in a previous episode where I germinated in rockwool and I got pigtailing of the roots, where the root kind of wrapped around itself and tangled itself up. So this gives me the opportunity to make sure and avoid that happening again. After another 24 hours, the bean on the left had shed its seed casing, but the bean on the right was still kind of struggling to get rid of it. I was making sure that the seed casing was nice and damp just to help those cotyledons pop it off, but the bean on the left here was definitely starting to get a head. Here's a time lapse of the next few days, and as you can see, the shoot on the left had started to raise its head. It's kind of like watching a snake raise itself out of a basket for a snake charmer. I love to watch these guys kind of dance up towards the light. This shoot on the left actually turned out to be quite a stretcher. Now it might be because the light intensity is a little bit lower, but she was definitely a tall lady. But the bean on the right, as you can see, was struggling a little bit. When we take a closer look, this is the bean on the left, and she's nice and tall. You can just see the seed casing at the base there that she shed off, but everything is looking good with the one on the left. No problems there. Nice and healthy, and she's turning out to be quite a tall lady. But if we just shift our attention to the bean on the right here, she looks like she's got helmet head. So I decided to take a bit of a look here, crack it open, and as you can see, she's pretty stunted and she's definitely in need of some help. So I'm going to intervene here and try and help her shed that seed casing, and hopefully once the light gets to the cotyledons below that seed casing, that she's going to catch up to the lady on the left. kind of weird looking at these guys. It's they remind me of the aliens from the Alien series movie. Every time I look at these guys, it's just very kind of weird alien looking, but she's definitely struggling. She's definitely stunted. So I decided to take a pair of tweezers and gently pry that seed casing open. So once the light gets to these cotyledons, I'm hoping that she's gonna catch up to the other bean. Apart from that, she looks pretty good. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. She is struggling. She's obviously way smaller than the other one, but hopefully I've caught this in time. We will see. It is lucky 13, so I hope luck is on her side. But as you can see, just cracked those seed casings apart and gave her some space. This is how I've put it back together. Just nudged her head up a little bit out of the kind of rock wall so that she can kind of sunbathe and reach up towards the light. Side by side, you can see there's a size difference, but it is early days, and I'm hoping now that the bean on the right can get some light, it's going to catch up and have a growth spurt. As we look at this time lapse, the lady on the left just kept stretching and growing legs, but the bean on the right was definitely struggling until she popped her cotyledon there. So I'm hoping now that there's 2 true leaves on display underneath there that she's actually going to catch up to this lady on the left, who's turning out to be quite a looker. She's a pretty looking lady, isn't she? Nice and healthy. But just look how long her shoot is. This is the longest kind of stretch I've had in a shoot. She's showing some roots at the bottom of the rock wall or stone wall there, so I'm going to repot her in cocoa and leave this lady in this smaller germination tent on her own. She's looking a lot better. As you can see, she's got 2 true leaves that are starting to show now that the cotyledons have opened up, but she does look a little bit mangled. Her stalk is, not looking the strongest. It's going off to the side, so yeah, there's not going to be any roots at the bottom of this. She's still got a long way to go. I repotted the lady on the left in some cocoa and perlite. That's 70% cocoa, 30% perlite. And I'm going to move her to a larger tent and then just leave the other lady that's struggling inside this small germination tent until she kind of gets a little bit stronger and a little bit bigger. So I'm going to take this lady out, and then I'm going to temporarily put her inside the Grow Tent Pro 32 by 32 under the 150 watt aero lights, whilst I decide which lady is going to go inside the VGrow and which lady is going to stay inside a larger tent. But she's looking nice and healthy. Hopefully she's going to grow nice and quick now that she's under this bigger light and that she's got more space for her roots to grow. We will see. I'm just happy that I've got one that's looking nice and healthy. If we check back in on the other lady in the Rockwell, now I'm going to keep her in here until she looks a lot stronger. Still a little bit worried about her. And then I'm going to decide at a later date, once I've set up my second VGrow, who and what is going to go where. But for the time being, or for at least the next few days until she's looking healthier, she's just going to be in here, and the other lady is going to be inside the 32 by 32. Here's a time lapse of the next couple of days, and as you can see, she's definitely doing her wobbly dance towards the lights, which is good. She definitely looks like a snake coming out for the snake charmer, so happy to see that. But if you look at the bottom of the stalk there, it actually goes off at a 90-degree angle, and she's not quite stable. So it didn't surprise me when she started to do this as soon as she got a little bit top heavy. So I decided I was going to give her some more kind of help and aid, because she was definitely not growing straight up towards the light because she was not stable. And if you can see, the roots there and the stalk, they're just not supported. So I decided I was going to makeshift a little kind of brace for her. On the good side, the roots are starting to show at the bottom, so she's doing pretty well. She just needs a little bit of support to kind of get her stalk to grow straight. So what I think I'm going to do is repot her inside the cocoa just a little bit deeper and have the cocoa come up higher, and that should give her support for her stalk and roots there. And I might actually create some kind of a little brace for her just to kind of give her something to rest against while she grows straight. So I decided to repot her in 70% cocoa and 30% perlite, as you can see, and then I used a twist tie as a little kind of brace or crutch for her to lean against. Then I'm going to fill the cocoa up above the rock wool just so that she has a stronger foundation and that her stalk has something to kind of keep her a little bit more stable. As you can see, I'm hoping that within a couple of days she started to grow straight towards the light and that the roots have taken a little bit more hold in the rock wool and she should be good. But apart from that, I'm pretty confident that she's going to be okay. She might be a little bit of a slow grower until those roots catch up, but right now this has been a bit of an ordeal and I've definitely been treating her like a chick that fell out of the nest, and it carries on with me feeding her with a syringe as well. So I've definitely babied her. She is lucky 13. She has come through this. I think she's past the worst of it, so I'm sure she's going to be fine once she just starts to grow a little bit. Here's what she looked like a couple of days later. I'd removed the twist tie crutch and brace and actually moved her inside the 32 by 32 next to the other lady, and as you can see, she's doing pretty good. She's still a little bit kind of bendy in her stalk, not quite straight, but her leaves have grown a lot more and she's looking pretty good. This is the tall lady. She's actually started to slow down with her stretch once she was under stronger lights. So now I've got two healthy lucky 13s. I'm going to decide which one is going to go in the VGrow and which one is going to stay in a larger tent. I'm definitely going to mainline at least one of them. I'm not sure. I might mainline two of them. I haven't decided. Maybe one's going to get mainlining and the other one's going to get another form of training, some regular LST or something. I'm not sure, but here's a few days later on and she's looking nice and healthy. This is the one that had the crutch and the helmet head. She's still got a bit of a bend in her stalk, but her leaves are now looking nice and healthy. She's looking perfect up top, so nice and confident that she's going to grow on to be a nice looking lady. And then also if we check in on the other lady that was nice and tall from the start, she's looking pretty good too. So really happy that I've got two lucky 13s on the grow. In the next episode, we'll repot and transplant one into the new VGrow that I've got, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I do appreciate it. Stay tuned for the next episode. Keep all the likes, all the comments, all the feedback and advice coming. Thanks again to Vivosun for sponsoring the channel. Till next time, bye-bye.